Welcome back to the Insider series. Today is something a little bit different. Normally, we have a guest on that will come on and basically go through their expertise. But today it's going to be myself, and we're going to go through how to make great content. I think there's a lot of artists that think, to go viral from your content, I need a professional camera, videographer, and a massive budget. And it's not true. The artists building real fan bases right now are doing it with literally a smartphone in their kitchen or their bedroom, no crew. And today we're going to exactly go through how to do this. So obviously at the Mesh UK Artists, you have a content system, you've got a team working with you. Today I really want to focus on the filming setup and ideas that you can use. So I think a massive point and an uncomfortable truth is that we work with so many talented artists, but their content gets ignored. And it's not because the music's bad, but it's because people they don't stop scrolling. We live in a culture where everyone's consuming content like this. You have 2 seconds to hook it in and stop that scroll. And that it doesn't have to be like the hook, the first line of your song. It needs to be something that's going to engage the people you want. And I think the best starting point is actually to make a brand persona and go, right, my perfect audience, they wear these kind of clothes, they go to these social events, really paint a picture of who that is and what they look like. I don't want someone that just sits down, adjusts the camera and goes, "Hey guys, here's a new song I've been working on." I want it to tell a story. Like, I want to show exactly the values behind that song that people can relate. Everyone's on social media to be educated or to be entertained. The best content has both. You've got to realize as well, your smartphone is already better than the best cameras in the world 10 years ago. It's not the camera that's your problem. If you've got like an iPhone 13 Pro or above or a mid-range Android, it's going to be better than a broadcast television did in 2005. Like, it's crazy what they can do. A massive thing when you're working with a smartphone is, do you have natural light? Have you got a window? Maybe you invest in a ring light. They're like 20 quid on Amazon. Sound, you can get some brilliant little clip mics. I've gone with DJI. They're a little bit more expensive because I do a lot of outdoor festival content. But again, you can probably get them for 20 quid. They stick in your phone, they clip onto you, and it makes it great. I think something that's really underrated is actually like a clean and consistent background. Like, I think people on socials think that every their video is to every single follower, and it doesn't. People are only going to see repeats of your content if they've engaged with it. So having a clean and consistent on-brand story behind you builds recognition. It doesn't need to be fancy. Mine's a white wall with some records behind me, and you'll see a lot of my content on socials come from that. The tail investment's like 50 quid. It really is. I think there's 5 content times that actually build a fan base, and that's the process posts, behind the scenes, the writing, the recording. Artists might think it's boring, but actually it's one of the most watched categories on YouTube for musicians. And examples are, I wrote a song in 24 hours, here's what happened, and it really tells a story. The reaction and the opinion posts. So you take time, something, get people to react. Maybe it's a move that you've made. Maybe you're commenting on something or a performance. Number 3 is the teaching posts. So whether that's how it's been made, a move they're making on socials. An example would be the one thing unsigned artist didn't know about Spotify playlisting, and you're giving value back. Number 4 is a story post. Really, really personal. Something that's happened to you that day. It could be a rejection, a breakthrough, a weird gig. The night I played to 3 people and this is what it taught me. And number 5 is the proof posts, results, milestones. This isn't bragging, it's not going to happen all the time, but how I got to X. I think these are really good content ideas anyone can film. If you're really struggling, you're like, Josh, I don't know. I don't know what content to do. On my Instagram, I have highlights and it's great content examples I like. And probably better on TikTok, I reshare examples of brilliant content. There is thousands on there. So there's no excuse. Go on my TikTok, Josh Robinson or Robo FM, and you'll be able to find some brilliant examples for you. For me, I save content. So if I see content I really like that I want to use and take inspiration from, I save it. And that doesn't mean on all of my platforms, I've always got new things to be working on. If I'm on social script, I'm always saving bits on there. I think it's really important that you need to have a conversation. People treat social media as a megaphone, and it's not. It should be a conversation. So own your comment section, reply to DMs, go on music forums. I think that's so important to build that up. I love the fan clubs, whether it's a broadcast channel, a WhatsApp, a Discord. Make people feel part of your journey. and they will run through brick walls with you. The lottery winners is the best example of this. I said to Tristan, you have 300,000 followers. He's the manager of the lottery winners. I said, how much of the band's income come from their fan club on Facebook? There's 1,000 people in it. And he said 80%, because they come to every show, they bring all their friends and family, they buy every bit of merch. I think it's so important. And I think you have to do that by filming everything, even posting the ugly bits, the funny bits, where it goes wrong, the bum note. I think the lorry winners are brilliant at showing you their real authentic self. And they're quite funny with it. And I think that really helps. The next thing is consistency. You need great music, you need great brand, you need to be consistent because you have to please algorithms. Here at LMS UK, the team genuinely train every Monday night on algorithms because it's like playing football and the goal's moving. So you have to be consistent. I'd rather someone posts twice a week consistently than a whole dump for a month and then nothing for 2 months. It wants the reliability, and every platform's the same. It will test it, or throw out to 200 people. If enough people like, comment, save, and share, it will keep pushing it. So your goal is to look at the data. Socials want you to do well. So if people aren't staying and the watch time is very low, under 6 seconds, your hook's not good enough. If they're not staying to the end of the video, the value's not good enough. And the call to action is so important. Subconsciously tell people, like this, comment this, save this. It's really important. And if you can do a batch content with a photographer or at a gig, perfect. A lot of this content you can repurpose on YouTube, whether it's shorts or whatnot. I think that's really key. Like if you had a small budget, go and make a long form YouTube music video, and you can actually use that for a lot of shorter stuff, commenting on what you did, why you did, and break that down would be really nice. I think the hook format is really in key, and testing different hooks. You could post the same video 10 times, 9 could flop, 1 could do well. I think it's massively important to test what your audience wants. And that's something that we do a lot here at LMS UK. We're led by data, and that's really key. And I think the one thing that separates artists with a fan base from artists with followers, and the thing that I wanted to end on, is followers are passive, super fans are active, and 1,000 super fans will give you a lifelong career in the music industry. 1,000 people spending £8.30 a month on merch, gig tickets, whatever it may be, is key. Absolutely key. That is the strategy. That is the whole point. And I think absolutely we've seen time and time again over the last 10 years, a setup of these things. I'm going to get up in front of you now, if I've got it here. A tripod with a light built in, a microphone, and a smartphone. Honestly, you can build an insane fan base from it. On the Let's Start a Band podcast, I had Alto Keys tell me the exact same thing. He's the most duetted artist on TikTok, behind Ed Sheeran 2 years ago. And that's his setup, even now. So I think it's really important that you go through those top tips I gave you at the start and really take care, because even if you film content but it doesn't look the best, it's going to be very hard. But every social is different. TikTok wants your authentic self. Instagram needs to be like CV level because people are more likely to click through to your profile. And then LinkedIn's brilliant for building business contacts, and YouTube pays the best. Don't forget YouTube. That's it from me. Cheryl, is there anything you want to add? Mobi, you're incredible at content. Marv, is there anything that you think artists need to hear about when it comes to getting great content?
So I was just going to interject and just say, one of the things I advise my clients is you can't tell the story of how you got there if you don't film it now. So you might not use that content now, but by creating a Google Drive or something where you can actually label your files, put the date, put a note doc in there, because in 10 years' time, when you're headlining that festival you've always dreamed of, you're going to look for that folder file and go, I have no idea where that is. That is lost forever.
And the throwbacks, the stories, fans want to relive that, don't they?
Yeah, like especially like December is filled with people doing a rundown of their year. Start creating January, February, March folders. Take your best bits, make those notes as you go, because otherwise you're going to get to December and go, what did we do this year? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I say it's every year.
I personally been gathering content probably since the beginning of 2026, and just post content now, and I still have a lot of content. So if I really need something about a song, I just call my filmmaker and just say, hey, mate, can you just come and we do something? But
But sometimes like you'll record something and you'll go, oh, it's not good. But then an expert social media manager can go, this is a gold mine. I'm going to take this, and this from it. Sometimes it's nice to have someone that's not inside actually take a fresh view at things.
no, it's true. The thing is that what I don't understand, right, is for example, before starting with this month with LMS UK, I used to just boost my videos on Instagram, right? And you get, yeah, I used to get a lot of followers, right? I got like 500 followers in just one video, and I spent like £100. But how do you actually reach an audience on Instagram without boosting your reels? Apart from your followers, they already see the video you have.
Yeah, it's a great question. Maybe do you want to? You've unmuted and you're an expert.
Yeah. I was the first thing I would say is I probably wouldn't even focus on Instagram for outreach, because just like Josh said, that Instagram is supposed to be like your CV for music. So if anything, that's where professionals are going to contact you to book gigs. That's where magazines are going to contact you if they want to do an article on you, and A&R will contact you if they want you to work with another artist. That's what I found. It's been really, if anything, networking, probably alongside LinkedIn, but like more so Instagram, if anything. But if you do want to specifically go Instagram and try and gain more followers or more reach specifically, then trial reels is definitely going to be your best option, because the algorithm on trial reels is basically the same as TikTok's. So it's only going to go to people that do not know you and have never seen you before, and are going to make a decision on the first impression you give them. And then the analytics that you take from that are going to allow you to find out whether or not your videos are doing well on trial reels or not. But any video that you see doing well on trial reels, I've found that you can just post it again and again and again and again, and it will just
I never use.
fly. Like,
I use TikTok where I test content, where I will throw loads of content out because people probably won't click on my profile that much. The content that works, I will then re-edit for Instagram, YouTube. Because people go, Josh, every one of your Instagram posts does well. It's like, well, I failed 9 times to get the right one that now works. Mobi, talk to me about how important is things like angles or colors or fonts, because when I look at your brand, it's growing from like 1K to like over 12K now. There's a distinct way that you film now, but that does come a little bit further along the line, doesn't it? You learn that.
yeah, I think it's taken a while to get to the point where I'm kind of happy with how my content's coming out. I mean, I'm still constantly testing and tweaking new angles. But yeah, I just took a couple of content pillars and really felt about, like, realized what was in the music. That was the most important thing. Like, what message am I trying to get across? What emotions am I trying to convey? How do I want the viewer to feel by the time they finish watching the video? And that's really where you have to start, because if you, for example, if I've got like a really emotional rap song with pianos and strings in the background, and then I've got a video of me like jumping around with all my boys in the background, it just does not fit. It doesn't make any sense. The viewer is going to be confused and they're going to swipe away. Whereas if I literally had that same song, but I'm standing by a pianist and I'm wearing a tux and my bow tie is undone and my emotion is directly towards the camera, you can feel the song a little bit more. You can feel the storytelling in it. The setting sits with it as well. So it really is about matching the vibe or the feeling of the song with the visual. And the best way to think about it is, where do you think you're going to be listening to this song? Are you going to be listening to and on a long drive?
And you do literally break it down, Mobi, don't you? You create a world for each song, and you really you've planned this well in advance rather than just okay.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I think I've found that, and I've learned this through working with you guys, like, planning is going to make life so much easier in the long run, because I was very, very run and gun at the beginning. Like in I think even might be the first 6 months, I think we were so run and gun, was just trialing everything out. I was just so excited to get started. But when you have intention behind things, people get what you're trying to do. They actually understand it, and you translate your message a lot quicker. So for example, my latest release is called TFL. And the idea behind it is basically that TFL prices are too expensive, and there are a bunch of other options that you can use that are cheaper to get around London. So me and my friend, we went and rented these forest bikes for the day, and we basically just went and performed the song in a bunch of places in London on the forest bike, cycling around. We even went on the cable cars in London, which aren't TFL anymore as well, and we walked loads. And yeah, basically put that footage out. It's doing really, really well based off of the back of that.
And maybe this is unbelievable advice to hear, because collaborate with other artists, share audiences, like, and you're brilliant
Exactly.
again at organizing these content days.
Yeah, literally. I think I've been, oh my gosh, I've been doing content days for maybe like 2 years now. I think I've been doing the content days for now. And sometimes you get 2 people, sometimes you get 30 people. It could be a nightmare at times. It really just depends. Everybody's obviously releasing music at different times. And sometimes there's just, for example, TikTokers that will come along because they want to make content with the artists and stuff. So it's always good to have your ideas, like know your song back to front before you start. Have a speaker nearby. And you need to get a mixture of content. It's super important to get your iPhone footage. Like you said, that's the most powerful tool you have. If you can get access to a camera as well, sick.
I just think there's a scale, isn't there? When you're at the start, there is nothing wrong with an iPhone in your kitchen, especially on TikTok, and you'll work up this scale and you'll learn. You'll learn by doing it. You'll learn by looking at your stats, and you work up, and you'll feel more confident and more natural with content. But there is, we're very lucky in the modern day in 2026 where a £40 setup can do amazing things. Amazing.
It's very true. That's it. You know what, Mobi? Yeah, go ahead.
So what was the app that you said that you use apart from Instagram, TikTok? You mentioned something at the beginning of the conversation.
I'll show you trial reels. It's on Instagram. It's just trial reels. It's like a.
Yeah, that's something that already.
It's a great platform to test.
But don't sleep on YouTube Shorts either, because that one brings in the money. That one actually brings, and for some reason, more like, I don't know how it works. Like, it's very hit and miss, yeah. But when you hit. Like, there's
I
no
feel
like.
with YouTube Shorts, thumbnail is really important because that's what they see. So whether it's a bit, for me personally, if I have a big artist picture or a great in text, I think like actual on-screen text hooks are so underrated at the moment. And as Mobi said, it pays the best. So guys, bit of a difference inside the series tonight, but I'm so happy we had it. I've learned a lot. I hope you guys have heard a lot. And we'll be back next month. Thank you for tuning in.